Every year, new cars come out. Most of them are updates. New headlights, a bigger screen, maybe a button that moved from the left side to the right side. You can barely tell the difference from 5 feet away. That's not what this list is about. These 5 cars didn't just show up in 2026. They changed something. One of them proved that a $21,000 car can feel like a $40,000 car. One of them brought hybrid technology back to the most popular sedan in America after a decade-long absence. One of them proved that a Chinese car company can outsell Toyota in an entire continent. One of them took the most polarizing design in the industry and turned it into a sales record. And one of them, the one that goes last, basically told the entire automotive world that the gas-only engine is over. I haven't driven any of these, but I've read what thousands of new owners are reporting in the first 6 months of ownership, what they love, what they regret, and exactly what they're paying. And honestly, some of these numbers surprised me. Number 5, the Chevrolet Trax. I know what you're thinking. The Chevy Trax, that little crossover that looks like it should cost $10,000. How did that change everything? Here's how. The 2026 Trax starts at $21,700. For that, you get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a modern-looking interior with a big screen, and, this is the part that blows my mind, more rear legroom than a Honda CR-V. A $21,000 car has more rear legroom than a car that costs $35,000. That's not a spec sheet cherry pick. That's real people sitting in both cars and saying, wait, the Chevy has more room. An owner in Ohio bought his 2026 Trax LT through the Chevy dealer for $23,200 out the door, taxes, registration, everything. He financed it at 5.9% APR through Ally Financial for 60 months, and his payment comes to about $440 a month. His insurance through Progressive in Ohio runs $118 a month for full coverage, which is less than what a lot of people pay on a 10-year-old Civic. And fuel. The Trax gets about 30 miles per gallon combined on regular unleaded, which means at current gas prices, he's spending about $120 a month on gas. So his total monthly cost, payment, insurance, gas, comes to about $678 a month for a brand new car with a full warranty. That's less than the average used car payment in America right now, which sits around $730. Now there are compromises. No all-wheel drive. The 1.2-liter 3-cylinder turbo has 137 horsepower, which means highway merging requires a plan. And the interior is mostly hard plastic. It looks good, but if you knock on the dashboard, you'll know where they saved the money. But here's what changed. Chevy proved that affordable doesn't have to mean embarrassing. And every other manufacturer in the budget segment is now scrambling to match that value. That's a change. Now, if the Trax proved you can build a great cheap car, the next one proves something even more surprising, that the best-selling sedan in America was missing something this whole time. Number 4, the Honda Civic Hybrid. Honda killed the Civic Hybrid in 2015, just pulled it out of the lineup, and for 11 years, the most popular sedan in America, a car that millions of people buy specifically because it's practical and efficient, didn't have a hybrid option. The Accord had one. The CR-V had one. The Civic? Nothing. Until now. The 2026 Civic Hybrid starts at $29,295, makes 200 horsepower, and gets 50 miles per gallon in the city. 50. On a sedan that actually looks good, drives well, and doesn't feel like you're making a sacrifice to save gas. An owner in Maryland on the Civic Sci forum bought his Sport Hybrid through the Honda dealer, out the door for $31,400. He financed at 4.9% APR through Honda Financial for 72 months. Payment comes to about $510 a month. His insurance through Geco in Maryland runs about $165 a month for full coverage. And his fuel cost over the first 4 months averaged $42 a month. Because when you're getting 48 to 52 miles per gallon in real-world driving, you just don't visit gas stations very often. And here's the comparison that made me sit up. He ran the numbers against his coworker's 2024 Civic Sport, the regular gas version. Same car, basically. His coworker pays about $88 a month on gas. He pays $42. That's $552 a year in fuel savings. Over the 6-year loan, the fuel savings almost completely close the $3,000 price gap between the hybrid and the gas version. What changed? Honda proved that hybrid doesn't have to mean slow, boring, or shaped like an egg. The Civic Hybrid drives like a normal Civic, except it barely uses gas. And if Honda can do this to the Civic, every sedan in America is going to follow. Toyota already moved the Camry to hybrid only. The dominoes are falling. Okay. From a car that brought hybrid to the masses to a car that most Americans have never heard of. But that just shook an entire continent. Number 3 are the BYD Celion 7. If you live in the US, you might not know BYD, but if you live in Australia or the UK, you already know what I'm about to say, because BYD just did something that nobody thought was possible. In 2026, China overtook Japan as the largest exporter of cars to Australia. Read that again. China overtook Japan in Australia, a market that has been Toyota territory for half a century, and the Celion 7 is the car that's leading that charge. It's a mid-size electric SUV. Think Tesla Model Y sized, starting at about 55,000 Australian dollars for the rear-wheel drive version, which converts to roughly 35,000 US dollars. The performance AWD version goes up to about 64,000 AUD, or about 41,000 US. An owner in Melbourne on the BYD Buddy Forum picked up his premium RWD for 56,500 AUD drive-away. That's the all-in price, including registration and stamp duty, which in Australia is basically what out the door means. His insurance through NRMA runs about 210 AUD a month for full coverage, and his electricity cost for home charging averages about 65 AUD a month. He came from a 2019 Mazda CX-5, and he says the Celion rides quieter, has a better interior, and cost him less per month in total ownership despite being a more expensive car, because there's no gas, no oil changes, and no transmission service. And here's the number that tells the whole story. The average wait time for a BYD Celion 7 in Australia right now is 6 to 8 weeks. The average wait time for a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, 12 weeks. BYD isn't just competing. In some months, they're outselling Toyota. What changed? A Chinese car company nobody trusted 5 years ago is now outselling Japanese manufacturers in markets they've owned for decades. Whether you think that's exciting or terrifying depends on your perspective. But either way, the industry will never look the same. From a car that's changing global power dynamics to a car that proved something much simpler, that sometimes being ugly on purpose is the smartest thing a car company can do. Number 2, the Hyundai Santa Fe. When Hyundai revealed the redesigned Santa Fe in 2024, the internet lost its mind. It looks like a refrigerator. It looks like a Land Rover from Wish. It looks like they designed it with a ruler and nothing else. The automotive media was brutal. Forums were brutal. Reddit was brutal. And then people started buying it. A lot of people. Hyundai reported record-breaking sales numbers for the Santa Fe through the first half of 2026, with the hybrid version seeing double-digit growth month after month. The car that everyone said was too ugly to succeed turned out to be exactly what families wanted, boxy, practical, and packed with technology. The 2026 Santa Fe starts at $35,050 for the Gas SE. The hybrid starts at $36,400, and a fully loaded calligraphy AWD hybrid tops out at about $52,000. An owner in Georgia on the Hyundai subreddit bought his 2026 Santa Fe hybrid SEL AWD through the dealer for $41,800 out the door. He financed at 6.2% APR through his credit union for 60 months. Payment comes to about $812 a month. His insurance through State Farm in Georgia runs $220 a month for full coverage, and his fuel economy over 5 months has averaged 37 miles per gallon combined on a 3-row SUV with all-wheel drive. His previous car was a 2020 Toyota Highlander that got 24 miles per gallon on a good day. He ran the annual fuel comparison. At current gas prices, the Santa Fe hybrid saves him about $940 a year in gas compared to the Highlander. Add in the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty from Hyundai, which the Toyota doesn't match. And he says the total cost of ownership over 5 years projects to be about $4,000 less than the Highlander. What changed? Hyundai proved that good design doesn't have to be pretty. It has to be right. The boxy shape maximized cargo space, made the third row actually usable, and gave the Santa Fe an identity that stands out in a sea of jelly bean crossovers. Every car company watched those sales numbers, and now they're all reaching for a ruler. And now the one that, when I read what Toyota actually did, made me think this is the moment that the gas engine started dying. Number 1, the Toyota RAV4. Not the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, not the RAV4 Prime. The Toyota RAV4 is period, because as of 2026, there is no gas-only RAV4 anymore. Toyota eliminated the traditional 2.5-liter four-cylinder from the lineup entirely. Every single RAV4 sold in 2026 is a hybrid. Everyone. And this is Toyota, the company that was still selling gas-only Corollas while everyone else was going hybrid. The company that made more money from internal combustion engines than almost any manufacturer on the planet. That company looked at their best-selling SUV, the number 1 or number 2 best-selling SUV in America, depending on the month, and said, no more gas. The 2026 RAV4 Hybrid starts with the standard model, making 226 horsepower, getting up to 47 miles per gallon in the city. The PHEV versions, the plug-in, makes 320 horsepower and can do over 50 miles on electric alone. Toyota also introduced 3 styling themes: Core, Rugged, and Sport, with a GR Sport grade for the people who want their RAV4 to look like it just came back from a rally stage. An owner in California on the RAV4 World Forum bought his 2026 RAV4 Hybrid XLA AWD through the Toyota dealer for $38,600. He says he paid MSRP with no markup, which in 2026 is becoming more common as inventory finally catches up. He financed at 5.5% APR through Toyota Financial for 60 months. Payment comes to about $738 a month. Insurance through Progressive in California runs him $192 a month for full coverage. And his fuel cost over the first 3 months has averaged $51 a month, getting a consistent 41 miles per gallon combined in mixed suburban and highway driving. His previous car was a 2019 RAV4, the gas-only version, which got 28 miles per gallon on a good day. The fuel savings alone come to about $68 a month, which over the life of a 60-month loan is over $4,000. And the hybrid's resale value is projected to be significantly stronger than the old gas version because, well, there is no gas version anymore. What changed? When Toyota kills the gas engine on their most popular SUV, it's not a marketing move. It's a signal. It's the biggest car company in the world saying, this is the direction. The Camry went hybrid only. The RAV4 went hybrid only. And if you're an engineer at Honda, Hyundai, or Ford, you're looking at those numbers and having a very serious conversation about which models are next. So that's the list. 5 cars. From a $21,000 Chevy Trax that proved cheap doesn't mean bad, to a Toyota RAV4 that just told the entire industry the gas engine's time is up. Daniel's call. If I had to pick the one car on this list that will matter most 5 years from now, the Toyota RAV4. Not because it's the most exciting. The BYD Sea Lion's global disruption is the bigger story. Not because it's the best value. That's the Trax, and it's not even close. But because when Toyota moves, everyone follows. The RAV4 going hybrid only is the moment we'll look back on and say, that's when everything changed. It's right there in the title. If you want to see the 7 most exciting new cars coming in 2027, including the first hybrid Porsche 911 and the BMW that could change everything, that video is right here. And if you want the list of 7 hybrid SUVs that are saving people thousands on gas right now, that one's here too. I'll see you in the next one.